Welcome back to Han Invest TV. Today we explore a chilling reality, why $100,000 is your absolute survival baseline. Imagine a world where global conflict erupts, banking systems collapse instantly, and your digital money vanishes into thin air without warning. This is not science fiction, but a financial reality that experts warn could happen if we ignore the signs of instability. We are analyzing a shocking theory from Nick Invests, arguing that a six-figure net worth is now a matter of survival. In a crisis, the gap between the prepared and the unprepared is not just about comfort, but about life and death. Financial history teaches us that stability is an illusion, and the comfortable middle-class lifestyle can evaporate in a few days. To understand why $100,000 is the magic number, we must first look at the trap of the modern earner. Meet Marcus, a typical professional earning $72,000 a year, believing he is safe within the American middle class. Despite his good income, Marcus has only $6,000 in savings and is drowning in high-interest credit card debt. He represents the virtual middle class, owning nice things but lacking the liquidity to survive a real economic shock or job loss. In the geopolitical landscape of 2026, his $6,000 savings is merely a speed bump, not a safety net. The Doomsday Clock now stands at just 85 seconds to midnight, the closest we have ever been to global catastrophe. Nuclear treaties are expiring, and tensions between superpowers are creating the most dangerous environment we have seen since the Cold War. When global conflict starts, supply chains break, currencies fluctuate wildly, and access to your own digital banking becomes incredibly uncertain. This is why we need to look back at history to understand what actually happens to money during these extreme events. Consider the Weimar Republic in Germany, where hyperinflation made the currency so worthless that people burned cash for heat instead of wood. Those who held their wealth in paper currency lost everything, while those with tangible assets managed to survive the economic collapse. In 1933, the U.S. government confiscated gold from citizens, proving that even in democracy, your assets are not safe. Governments in crisis will always prioritize their own survival over your private property rights, using laws to seize or freeze wealth. Look at Argentina in 2001, where the government froze bank accounts and citizens could not withdraw their own life savings. More recently, in Cyprus and Lebanon, banks confiscated deposits to save themselves, leaving ordinary people with nothing but empty promises. These are not ancient history lessons. They are warnings of what happens when financial systems break down under extreme geopolitical pressure. So why is $100,000 the specific target you need to aim for to weather a World War III scenario? This amount covers four critical pillars: daily living costs, the ability to relocate, protection against inflation, and capital for reconstruction. First, consider the cost of living. In a crisis, prices skyrocket, and you need a substantial buffer to feed your family. Second is mobility. You may need to leave a conflict zone quickly, requiring funds for travel, visas, and temporary housing abroad. Third is the inflation hedge. Your wealth must be large enough to be diversified into assets that do not lose value. Finally, reconstruction capital. After the crisis, cash is king, allowing you to buy valuable assets for pennies on the dollar. Now that we understand the target, how do we get there? We need a ruthless strategy to build this fortress quickly. The first step is aggressive debt elimination. You cannot build a survival fund if you are bleeding interest to the banks. High-interest debt is a shackle that prevents mobility. In a crisis, creditors become aggressive, and debt becomes a prison sentence. Once debt is gone, build an emergency fund of $10,000 to $15,000. This is your immediate liquidity for emergencies. To reach the full $100,000, you must invest in broad market index funds over a period of 5 to 7 years. This requires discipline. It means living below your means today to ensure you have the resources to survive the chaos tomorrow. Sacrifice the new car and the expensive vacations now. Your future self will thank you when the world turns upside down. Asset allocation is the final piece of the puzzle. You cannot keep all your wealth in one bank or one currency. Keep some cash liquid and accessible outside the banking system. When ATMs fail, cash will be the only way to trade. Physical gold is your insurance against currency collapse. It has held value for thousands of years and is recognized everywhere globally. Bitcoin offers a digital escape hatch. It is portable, uncensorable, and can be transported across borders without physical searches or seizure. While gold is heavy and hard to hide, Bitcoin allows you to carry your entire net worth in your head or pocket. A robust portfolio might look like this: stocks for growth, cash for liquidity, gold for stability, and Bitcoin for asymmetric upside. Reaching $100,000 gives you options. In a world of chaos, options are the most valuable currency you can possess. Without this financial shield, you are at the mercy of government handouts, refugee camps, and the charity of strangers in crisis. This is not about getting rich for luxury. It's about buying your freedom and ensuring the safety of your loved ones. The window of opportunity is closing. The time to prepare is while the system is still functioning, not after it breaks. Remember Marcus? He decided to change his life. He cut his expenses, sold his luxury car, and started stacking real assets. It took him 3 years of hard work, but he eliminated his debt and built a foundation that no one can shake. When the next crisis hits, Marcus will not be a victim. He will be ready to protect his family and seize opportunities. So ask yourself today, are you a Marcus of the past, or are you building your fortress for the uncertain future? You do not have to do this alone. Education and community are powerful tools to accelerate your journey to $100,000. Start by educating yourself. Read about financial history, understand how money works, and don't trust everything the mainstream media says. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Start building your wealth today. Compound interest is a slow process at first, but once it gains momentum, your wealth will grow faster than you imagine. Your goal is to reach a point where your money works for you, fighting inflation and generating value even while you sleep. $100,000 is not just a number, it's a shield. It's the minimum price of admission for survival. The world is changing rapidly. The rules of the last 40 years may not apply to the next 40 years ahead. Don't bet your life on the assumption that stability will last forever. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Alongside your financial preparation, ensure you have basic physical supplies. Money is useless if there is no food to buy. True wealth is a combination of financial assets, practical skills, and the mental resilience to adapt to any changing situation. The journey to $100,000 will be hard. It will require sacrifice, but the alternative is far more painful. When you are secure, you can become a pillar for your community, helping others who were not as foresighted as you. Diversify your currency exposure. Don't hold all your cash in dollars if the dollar loses its global reserve status. Consider opening a bank account in a different jurisdiction. This adds a layer of legal protection against domestic asset seizure. Jurisdictional diversification is a strategy used by the wealthy for centuries. It's time for you to adopt their mindset. Bitcoin is volatile, yes, but in a world of infinite money printing, a scarce digital asset is a rational lifeboat. Governments can print more currency, diluting your savings. They cannot print more gold, and they certainly cannot print more Bitcoin. Own what is real. Own what is scarce. Own what cannot be debased or confiscated by a desperate government decree. We hope this scenario never happens. We hope peace prevails. But hope is not a strategy. Preparation is a strategy. Invest in your health as well. Medical systems may collapse, so your body must be strong enough to endure hardship. Stockpile essential medications. If supply chains break, access to simple antibiotics could be the difference between life and death. Build a network of trust. In hard times, your social capital and relationships are just as valuable as your financial capital. Learn practical skills. Can you fix things? Can you grow food? Can you defend yourself? These skills increase your value. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Don't be the victim who waited for permission to survive. You still have time. The clock is ticking, but it has not struck midnight. Use every second wisely to prepare. Recap the mission. Cover living costs, ensure mobility, hedge against inflation, and save capital to rebuild when the dust settles. $100,000. It seems like a lot, but broken down into daily actions, it's an achievable mountain to climb. Consistency is key. Small amounts saved and invested daily will compound into a massive safety net over a few years. Ignore the daily noise of the market. Focus on the long-term trend of asset accumulation and debt destruction. Every dollar you do not spend on useless consumer goods is a soldier you recruit for your personal army of survival. Financial freedom is not about retiring on a beach.